Just for the score more than 4,000 years or so ago, my folks were kings, astrologers and scientists, the best of all things. And then fate put barbarians at our gate. Their curiosity turned to jealousy, which then turned into hate. And hatred, well, that's the loss of all things sacred. You see, something's bound to happen, yes, while we digress. You see, imagine if God had to give his only son for the sins of men through the soul of one, crusades being led by dark agents for a world whose history was torn out by the pages. But Christopher Columbus is famous for a mistake, like a ignoramus, but hey, pass that Thanksgiving plate. You see, because the real American natives were nothing close to Indian, yet they was robbed and they was raped and they was left in oblivion, killing braves from their lack of bravery. This land is our land, but we need help. Slavery. Almost 400 years that no ignorance was active. See, but my people weren't slaves. Nah, we was kidnapped and held captive. They stole our religion. They changed our names. They beat us, starved us, sold us, split us, put us in chains. We who built a whole cotton-picking nation by hand, but not for ourselves, nah. We did it for this other man. And then Honest Abe, he tried to proclamate generations of hate for all these Negroes to emancipate. 40 acres and a mule. Well, tell me, why are we poor? And tell me, what did we fight for in that uncivil war? My brother, man, Marcus, he said, let's head back to the motherland. But should we have listened? Because I wish that we would listen. Because it's reparations with integration or separation. Because we ain't get no vote, have no rights, barely got an education, but we overcame and we're still the best of all things. In music, inventions, mess with us in the boxing rings. Then why we ain't got no power, huh? Let's fight the power in spite. Somebody got to stand up for these uncivil rights by any means necessary. Did you hear what he said? We should hear Malcolm's words more clearly now that he's dead and march a little farther now that Martin's arrested because that brother had a dream. But we still digress. Bam! Vietnam, a black and a white man is killing the yellow man to protect the American land that was stolen from the red man. But that's not enough. Wait, hold up the floodgates like Watergate because of vandals trying to scandal us. And how long will we allow them to handle us? They who drug us, rape us, pimp us, mold us in these government projects that was meant to control us. You see how things can go from bad to worse for my people who was on this earth first. They out there storming deserts to kill terrorists, racist people, but let someone take a shot at old Trump. Boy, I think that there is illegal. We don't make guns. We don't grow coke. I think you're trying to disease me. Brother, keep killing your own brother, all right? Let's make his job easier. Sister, you keep twerking real good because he loves when you sleazy eating filth and listening to lies on your TVs. End your own ignorance. Stop your own oppression. Teach yourself a lesson. Ain't no more time for digression because something's about to happen, yo. And I ain't on here crying wolf. Peace. My name's mainMAN, family. Word up. 2019 Block Award Poet, Spoken Word Artist of the Year, North Carolina Poet Society, Gilbert Chapel, Adult Fellowship recipient. Just a few things. I do. I got a hip hop talk radio show, 104.7 FM, called Radio Unfriendly, and I spit these bars, B. Yeah, man. There's a lot of injustice going on in the world today, and I write some poems to speak about it, and here they go. My nephew's favorite movie is The Lion King. So I took him to the zoo. Because on display there is an African lion born in captivity. It was beautiful and majestic, and when it let out a mighty roar, it demanded respect. Even a half a third world away, uprooted from a Saharan grassland home, and slaves shipped to these American soils to be repotted. I wondered if it would be renamed. Would it become an Afro-American lion? The zookeeper told my nephew that his birth name was actually Karabo, which means gift from God in Eastern Africa. But here, below the Mason-Dixon line, everyone just calls it Bo for short. As if God's gift wasn't good enough or Negro was already taken. I wondered if it even had a last name. one that can be traced back to its saber-toothed ancestors. However, National Geographic proves that it ain't where you're from. It's where the plantation is at. That's what determines your surname, sir. The corporate master that owns it, that trapped it in the most unnatural of habitats and fed it scraps. I wondered if it even knew how to hunt. Could it provide for its family, or did it not have enough pride in its tribe? You see, when you separate cub from kinfolk, it becomes dependent, domesticated, like a pet. Oh, how privileged one must be when house cat becomes too boring. So Hakuna Matata that you have to start Willie Lynching big game right before posing for those pictures like the ones they sell up in the gift shop. You would think that such a thing couldn't happen in this society because that would just be inhumane. And God forbid some red-blooded American 5/5 of a human being accidentally on purpose jumps over that fence without any type of self-defense, and that wild animal has to show just how fierce it could be. If they don't kill it first, the lion tamers will have to whip it back into submission before it realizes its own strength. You see, that's what they got to do. To keep the king of the jungle in a cage, break its spirit by taking away everything that it believes in, straighten its snappy mane to make it more mountain lion, teach it proper etiquette by putting more posture in its prow, more purr in its growl to try to make it look more pretty. Sitting lazily up in the big house, licking its wounds, scarring its brother with jealousy until it becomes a backstabber, the opposite of its brother's keeper, which is what divides the village. Like the Middle Passage. You see, you can take the lion out of Africa, but can you ever really take Africa out of anything? Stop lying to yourself, King. Boom. That one is called Lion King. The poem before that was titled Crying Wolf. As a matter of fact, instead of a poem, how about I just tell y'all a scary story? I'm talking about one so awfully gory that I call it the Afro-American horror story. Statistically, black people die first in a horror movie. Even though the white girl probably stumbled and fell, the cops could have just took me to jail, but instead, they shoot me. Because I'm the Frankenstein monster that America created. I'm stronger, I last longer. I'm alien, melanated, and they hate it. So much that they come together and clan, pitchfork, and tiki torch, and hammer on life. Does not matter. No Jason knife, just black hand of black man. Or one man like Sandra Bland. In Texas, no chainsaw. You're still a massacre. They master traps that snap. That I'm blamed for, but you saw it all before for yourself in 4K, not in black and white, but in Freddie Gray, how they got away with murder, but still managed to spit on my grave like a Blair Witch Hunt project. Whether I was in the suburbs or the projects or right here on my mama's steps on Elm Street, I'm reliving a nightmare on the night of the living dead like Breonna Taylor and can't sleep. Life at stake like Dracula, jaws all bloodthirsty but can't eat. An Afro-American werewolf man in sheep clothing who ain't free to George Floyd or Eric Garner enough strength to breathe. I can't breathe. Hold it. The Grimacing Reaper is approaching. Jeepers Creepers. I can see the Crypt Keeper as I am slowly rubbing in this lotion because they are silencing lambs without the silencers. Blam. They can purge whenever they get the urge up in this violent ass lamb while I'm shining like Alton Sterling silver CD liners. They're trying to hide from the Jekyll inside, but damn. It wouldn't matter if I was just rapping with my mummy, Queen Corin, or walked to the store before the Candyman crept up on me like Trayvon Martin. America is eating its young and unborn with enough room for some tamir rice, plus all the children of the corn. It's so plain to see. When the hills have eyes, from here to Amityville, so before you get pulled over for paranormal activity in your Christine like Philando Castile, you best be ready to handle your steel. Or your mother Carrie will scream and go psycho. After the ring of her phone, every day seems like Halloween without Michael Myers, just Mike Brown, hands up, shot down. He meant I was just another Sean Bell Hellraiser who resisted getting down on the ground. Blow, no Gregory Gunn. You're still another poltergeist, loss of life, gone into the light. My guess is without an exorcist, only Officer Chucky and Cujo go home tonight. Because after he shot Keith and Walter Scott, the thing that made me wonder was if this was a grudge or an omen. Because I know what you did last summer. Dug me a plot on Salem's Lot right next to the pet cemetery. Now I'm walking dead with 13 ghosts. After that, headshot left me buried. But what's most scary and insidious is that I wasn't even afraid to die. Though I should. Because of you, my life ain't nothing but another tale from the hood. Boo. Yeah. It's pretty terrible, man, that I don't have happy poems. But I just write about what either I go through or what I see. And it's scary as a black man. Like, every time I see the blue and red lights, or even when I'm out late at night, my family's worried about me because I'm a big, bald, black, bearded. You know, I got all the qualities of the villain. And I am. I guess I am the bad guy. You know what I mean? In the eyes of the world. But that's just their own perspective, you know. In my house, I'm a teddy bear, but out here in the wilderness, I guess I'm a grizzly bear. I got a new joint I'm gonna give y'all, and this one is called Enough, because I feel like it's I've had enough, man. So it's a new joint, so I'm gonna read it to y'all. Hope y'all enjoy it. Enough is enough. Like when your belly is full from all the good food, or when your cup runneth over from God's blessings, or when you just can't stomach the sight of seeing another black person killed for sport. Enough. And it's amazing how a straw, I'm talking about a tiny little straw of grain, can be stacked on top of countless others and break a camel's back. Or how a noose can break a person's neck, or how police lights can break your whole spirit. I still instinctively hit the brakes even if the cops are on the other side of the road pulling someone else over. And if that's not enough, in an effort to make America great again, every Tom, Dick, and Karen has done everything in their privileged power to make me feel like I am not good enough to jog in my own neighborhood, to deliver packages for my job, to walk my own dog, to sleep, to drink, to eat, to breathe, to be black. You don't need a paper bag to see if I'm brown enough. Capitalism only cares about my greenbacks. So it's a must to secure the bag in order to have enough class, because if you ain't silver spooned enough for the Ivy League, then you will be considered historically black. And Black History Month ain't enough. They will try to make each and every one of us history on any given day of the year. It's in the fast food that we eat, the Flint water that we drink. It's in the places that we live, the way that we think. It's in the system. And I have not done enough to stop systemic inequality or any justice for people of color. No one has. Which is why families and friends and neighbors and people that you might not even know still experience it every day. And yeah, thoughts and prayers are nice, but are they enough? Protests and riots have powered this revolution, but do we have the resources to continue to make them be enough for change? Because this system that allows law enforcement to break the law, if they don't have enough evidence, enough training, enough patience, enough compassion, or enough guts to do the right thing, needs to stop. Enough is enough. And I hope that you don't feel good after hearing this. I don't. I hope that you are mad as hell and have had enough. I have. And I'm man enough to say it. Peace, family. Let's come together and do the right thing, man. We all we got. I'm mainMAN, your unfriendly neighborhood mainMAN. Peace and blessings, man.